Loretta's Front Page, connecting you, your community.
That'll freak a few people out, won't they? They go, it's Wednesday! Panic, panic, panic. Don't be panicking. We just thought that seemed like a good... Oh, well, that stops abruptly, doesn't it? We thought it'd be a good thing to have, because who do we have in the studio today, Robert Cameron?
We have the new Leo Rankin, used to be the heart and soul of this place. He's second best at it now. The new girl that makes everything happen, Loretta Hart. Good morning and welcome to the Two Blokes Chatting radio show.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a bit special to be here on a Saturday.
And you're going to find it like frustrating like I do when I'm sometimes on someone else's program. I want to push the buttons.
No, you know what? It's just so nice just to drive in and all I had to do was sit down.
Yeah, sit down.
So I'm very happy that you've organised all of this.
And the good thing is you've done as much preparation for this conversation as we have, because that's how we roll here. We've got you here for a few reasons. One, because it's nice to have nice people with us.
Thank you.
And we couldn't find any of them, so we thought, no, that's not right. Secondly, you have your very good show, which we just heard the intro to, called Loretta's Front Page. Given that time slot's called Front Page, it must have taken a while to come up with Loretta's Front Page, but well done on that. And you've also got another role to play in this organisation, and we want to talk about community radio, so there you go. That's kind of the agenda.
All the things.
You have sort of, I shouldn't say revamped, but I think what you have done is reminded us again, refreshed. This has happened a few times when we need to tell more people, that what we do here is pretty darn good, and you've really ramped up a social media show off of us, and hopefully more people will get on board, and sponsorships will come in. People will realise that community radio is a good medium locally, and Geelong should be very proud of 94.7 The Pulse, because we internally certainly are, and I think you are, with your business background, are bold enough to say, hey, this is us, have a look, and it's pretty impressive, so good on you. So tell us how it all started.
How I found my way into community radio.
Oh, that's a good story. You don't have to tell that one if you don't want.
Well, I was at the long-time ABC listener. And I remember going and seeing John Fain do an outside broadcast years ago, and I was fascinated with the machinations that went on behind the microphone, the things that you couldn't really see. So Jacinta Parsons and Brian Nankervis were coming to the Palais March 2022, and I thought I'm going to go along and just enjoy it. And as I was going into the driving in, I had a little mantra, and it said, if you get a chance to talk on radio, take it, Loretta. Like, just don't be shy, you can do it, sort of thing. Had this little mantra going. Anyway, it was fabulous. There was guests, there was music, there was, lots of great entertainment happening. And what happened is they said, when Goanna played their second song, like just for a start, we had Goanna, on stage. When Goanna played their second song, if you want to be on the quiz, line up over here. And I thought, this is my opportunity. It was nearly towards the end of the show. And so I enjoyed solid rock like everybody else. But when they finished, I looked across and the line to be on the quiz, like massive. I was like, well, I've missed out on my chance. So the quiz was all about Geelong. I'm really passionate about our area, born and bred here. People were getting the answers wrong. They were going out. Sometimes they can really move through the quiz. So I said to the woman next to me, because I'd gone on my own, I said, I'm going to have a go. She goes, go for it. So I went around and joined the line and noticed that every person ahead of me and every person who had been on the quiz was a bloke. Love blokes, married one, got 2 sons, got 5 brothers. But I'm like, where's all the chicks? Why aren't we up here? Anyway, as the quiz goes on, anyone who knows it, the last question is like 3 seconds of music, and then you've got to name the artist and name the song. And I'm not good at that at all. And of course, that's what I got. So the producer asks my name. She writes in a bit of paper, gives it to Jacinta. Jacinta says, and Loretta's next on the quiz, can you name that song? And I said, no, but I just want to say I'm up here for all the women. And I got a bit of a cheer from the audience and thought she might give me a clue. Nah, nothing. She said, thanks, okay, off you go. So that was my 2 seconds of on the mic. And then about 5 minutes later, they're wrapping up the show, and Jacinta's walking through the crowd, and she comes along this gentleman in the front row, Mr. Rob Cameron from 94.7 The Pulse, and she said, we love the encouragement that we get from The Pulse for the ABC. Is there anything you'd like to say? And so Rob said, we're always looking for new presenters, and, we always need more female presenters. To which she said, where's Loretta in the auditorium? And I call out, over here, Jacinta. And if I had my kids with me, they would have been under the chairs because it was so embarrassing.
Mum.
Exactly. So I thought, well, this is my opportunity, and so I was very nervous to go and approach Mr. Robert Cameron.
We all feel a bit that way.
I know, and I stood there, and he was chatting with all the people, all the showbiz people, and I'm standing there patiently,
Celebrity Central.
waiting. No, and Mary Jane, who was the producer, came past and said, "Oh, did you want something?" I said, who was the bloke from the Pulse? Oh, that's Rob over there. She taps Rob on the shoulder, and she says, "Rob, this is Loretta. She wants to be on radio." And I was like, it had nothing. And he said, "Oh, let's have a chat." So that was the start.
So it's your fault.
Majorly. And so I came in, I did a little bit of sitting quietly in the background in the studio. I was thrust an iPad one day and told to read the weather. And it went from there. So I did the intro to broadcasting course, and I started my own show. That's sort of a longish story, but I like it.
And I think you omitted my favourite part of that story.
What's that?
I think I heard that quiz that day, and there was a question that Rob was asked and completely and utterly got it wrong. Am I right?
Yeah, correctly. I remember saying, I was trying to be a bit Neil Butlerish. I don't know why. But Trevor Chappell was asking the questions, and he asked a question I didn't know the answer.
Was it about underarm bowling?
No, it wasn't.
No.
And I said to him, when I was a young fella, Trevor, I really, really loved the Chappell family, but you're not one of them that I like at all. And I just walked away, waved the white flag and disappeared.
Yeah, excellent.
The question was way above my pay grade.
Yeah, what's the main street of Geelong?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, probably something like that.
So community radio has allowed a whole lot of people who want to sit in one of these foamy things in front of our gob on a Saturday morning or other times of the week. It's a really important part of the community, isn't it?
So community radio really exists for underrepresented voices to be heard. So we all know about mainstream media, and they pick and choose as to what gets to air. And so community radio is supposed to be filling that gap and be giving people who potentially aren't involved, aren't heard, aren't seen, aren't recognised, their stories aren't promoted, a space for that to occur. And when I finished my radio course, I put in my demo. I was going to do a 1 hour show around, whatever. And Leo said to me, the station manager, "Oh, that's great, but we'd like you to do a 2 hour news and current affairs program." And I said, I'm not interested in news and current affairs. And he sort of didn't let me off the hook quite that easily. And he said, well, what are you interested in? I said, I'm really interested in women's stories. I'm interested in women's health that doesn't get talked about enough. I'm interested in issues that really impact a woman's life. And he said, well, do that. I said, is that news and current affairs? He said, yes. I hadn't looked at it from that angle. And so what I started to do then is to think about, well, who gets to make the news? Who says what the news is? And it's often a bloke in a suit in a room, unless it's an earthquake or some sort of natural event. We see it now because we're on the other side. We get press releases. There's studies that are released. There's people who are wanting to promote themselves. There's causes that lobby. And I was like, well, I probably get an opportunity to find the stories that I think aren't being talked about. Maybe they're talked about with women over a coffee, one-on-one, but we get to have bigger and bolder and conversations that really matter. And so that's what I've really taken into it. And so that's what community radio has enabled me to do. But it also means that we can have foreign language programs, and we have some amazing foreign language programs here at the Pulse. We're able to cover the breadth of musical genres. I heard you saying about Ross and his love of jazz. Yesterday, on Fridays, Alan comes in and does Alan's music. Alan, I don't think let's just say he's north of 79, right?
Let's say he's older than Rob. That'll give people an idea.
But what is fantastic is Alan plays if you're not doing much between 1 and 4 on a Friday, can you tune in to Alan? He plays some fantastic music, and he presents it. He's diligent. Where else is an 80-year-old man going to be able to present the thing that he loves and is passionate about? Yeah. So that's why I love community radio. It takes us from, we have Liam, who's probably one of our younger members, who loves Devo. He was absolutely born in the wrong decade. He should have been born when the police were huge. From a 19-year-old through to, an 80-year-olds, people from home and it's just such different backgrounds talking about things that they're really passionate about. Can you hear it in my voice?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think the other important thing, and Neil and I know it because we speak to these people, the number of people that are big in commercial radio or entertainment media, whatever the case may be, who started their life in community radio. And we've got Ross Stevenson, we've got Ian Cover, who were both on together one morning. Mike Brady, Jacinta Parsons, Brian Nankervis. There's so many of them that have started their journey in this space.
And I think if you ask them what they loved most about is probably the freedom and the independence. If you listen to any commercial radio station, they have, many, many minutes, and maybe, Neil, you know how many minutes they play per hour of advertising. So the amount they get to talk and the amount they get to communicate and talk, do what they're passionate about just reduces so dramatically. And that's what's fantastic, about this medium that we have. And so there's something for everybody at the Pulse. We're a generalist category. There's specialist categories within community radio. One thing that I will say is that a lot of people have an idea that we're fully funded by the government. And we do have some funds that flows through the Community Broadcast Foundation, which comes from the federal government, and we're really, really thankful about that. But that's just a small piece. Like any organisation, business, there's bills to pay, there's things that are always on the go. So our subscribers are our lifeblood and our sponsors are our lifeblood, and we love all of them, but we need more so that we can do more. So it's actually, yes, there's a piece about sitting here and talking on the microphone, and we all really love that, but that's a real privilege, and I think we all understand that. So there's much that goes on behind the scenes that people don't realise that we do. Everybody here's a volunteer. We have 2 paid staff. I'm one of those in my new role of community engagement and sponsorship coordinator, and we have Leo, who's a station manager. Everybody else who here is doing it for the love and the passion, and we're a community that our reach, we go all the way down to Apollo Bay. We go, out to Winch. Technically we go to Werribee, but someone said the other day they were tuning in Camberwell. We go across the bay. I was top of Mount Bunningham.
It's loud and clear in the middle of Melbourne the last couple of weeks.
My dad used to listen to it in Berwick. And the reason was Berwick's slightly raised and straight across the bay.
Yes. So
he said pointing, which is really useful on the radio.
But at least your finger was pointing in the right direction.
Roughly speaking. Yeah.
But we had so the potential of what we can do here and how we can be part of the media landscape, that's what really excites me.
And I think also the fact we've had Neville this morning up there in Mulwala listening in, what we should have got him to do? Go around and knock on Jen Donovan's door because she lives in Mulwala. This is the lady who didn't ring. We couldn't get hold of this morning. Could have got him going. But we've got that reach as well, and people can take us with them using the Community Plus Community Radio Plus app.
That's the one. Which,
incidentally, on my phone works for every radio station in Australia except one.
Really?
And the one that...
No, don't broadcast that. But so go onto your phones, go to your app store, download. I can see Tom's going to do it right now in the other studio.
Oh, no, he won't. He's already got it. He's already got it. He's there.
He's there. So it's the Community Radio Plus app. It's a pink app in your app store. And, my brother works up in Lilydale, and so he tunes in. Gotta love a big brother that listens to his little sister on the radio, and he's always, give me comments, give me tips as well.
Oh yeah,
I need a better sign off. He thinks.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he does.
Well, you can't have "That's all she wrote." See ya, that's mine.
Is that right?
Yeah, not on this show, but
or bye for now. That's another popular one around the place. But so we have the ability. And the potential to really change conversation and highlight some really amazing things that happen in our region. And it's not just Geelong focused. As Surf Coast, Golden Plains, Bellarine, Shire of Wyndham. We are the voice, and we can be the voice, but we do need some help to do that.
Yeah. So if you would like to be a subscriber, there is a spot you can go to on the website, which is 947thepulse.com. Go in there and you can find out all about it. Or you can give us a call. I always have to look up here because I get it wrong. Give us a call on, they've taken the sign down. 04, that's the wrong one. 52225
Business hours, yeah.
Yeah, between 9 and 5 on a Monday to Friday. If you ring it at other times, you'll get confused looking a presenter pick up the phone.
Yeah.
So 9 till 5, 52225 and just say you want to sponsor or find out more about it.
Yeah, so but take up a subscription. So $65 gives you a whole year to be one of our best buds, and you actually get to nominate the show that you like the best. So when you're actually filling in your subscription, paying your $65, you can actually say the show, and we will be tracking very closely. So we're going to be having a bit of a drive in April about whose show has the most subscribers, fellas. So, if you want to be up in that...
Bit of a game.
Yeah,
Okay,
be
we love a
part of
game.
that.
Now, just for the record, folks, that's the number 2. It's not the TWO blokes chatting, right?
Well, if I see blokes chatting, I'll make sure it goes into your tally.
Excellent. That'd be
So
good.
yeah, individual. But if $65 is beyond someone at the moment, there is a concession for $50. But we also take donations. So a $10 donation is massive, and every piece will help. And then obviously there's the opportunity for an organisation or a business to sponsor us. So, we might have naming rights for a program. It might be that they get 30-second announcement throughout shows. We go and do outside broadcasts. There's lots of things that we can do as part of a sponsorship arrangement.
And that kicks off at about, $20 a week, doesn't it, for a business across a year?
Well,
That's $1,000.
no, 40.
Okay, so $40 a week. Okay,
Yeah.
so but even still, for a business, that's very, very achievable.
Oh, if you go and see what it costs you to get a quarter-page ad in a newspaper that goes out once. Yeah.
Yes, or the 3.5 seconds it buys you on commercial radio for the year.
Or
That's right.
there may be, Niels might be right, if someone just said, I want to have one ad played per week on the Two Blokes Chatting radio show, there's probably a negotiable
We can
fee on
talk
that.
about it, yeah. I mean, I had someone ring up yesterday and they said, this is our organisation, we'd love this. So I created something bespoke for them because of their situation. More than happy to have the conversation.
That's
So
really good.
get on the phone, 52225 and Loretta will be the one that will ring you back. She's in the orifice on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, brackets not before 11 o'clock on a Wednesday because she's far too busy doing other things, i.e. her program. And if you're interested in sponsorship, she'd love to talk to you about that, but you can subscribe through the website, can't you? You're $65.
Yes, so that's a subscription, is
Yep,
$65.
that's just
Sponsorship is different, and sponsorship is when we're talking to businesses about creating an opportunity to be on here in a substantial way.
And how good would this sound, Rob? You listen to the Two Blokes Chatting radio show sponsored by...
Insert, yeah.
There you go.
I mean, this is how Geelong does Saturday morning, so why wouldn't you want to be being
She knows
broadcast?
the slogan.
She knows stuff.
I listen to my share.
The 12th of February, very important day. It's something that I think all of us have done. You and I have certainly done the Introduction to Radio course. You might have done it at 5TP. What was that name?
I
of
have
that
never
place?
done it. But
Good. I'm glad you're joining us this coming Friday, Monday.
The 3 that I've run at 94.1 FM 3WBC in Box Hill probably gets me out of it.
does. So anyone who wants to be a presenter here at The Pulse, be on air, we will want to hear from you. There are spots on the grid, especially if there's something that isn't already being covered. To become a presenter, you do get to do the 6-week Introduction to Broadcasting course, and we have our next one starting February the 12th. It's Monday nights from 6 till 9 for 6 weeks.
And we know it works because you and I have done it. Tom Christensen is sitting next door.
Look at him.
He's done it. Well, you mentioned Marwa, who runs the Arabic show.
On a Monday night.
Monday night.
Yep.
Melissa Davis has got her music show. Doug Morellan's got his music
I mean,
show.
you can actually mention everybody because everyone's done it. But what you're talking about
Just in
is
recent
the
times.
last 18 months worth of people come
in the
through.
last little while, we've introduced a lot of people to the new show. So it's real. It happens. If you've got a passion, as Loretta did, and her story still makes me weep with joy. Get yourself into...
Joy's back.
Joy's back.
Wasn't she out with Adam Gilchrist and Brian Lara? He was hugging her with joy.
Oh, she's been out everywhere this
Isn't
week.
she, though?
Give Loretta a call and see what you can do about the course. Sponsorship, subscribe. There's so many ways you can be part of the Pulse family. If you're listening right now, I suggest you are very much emotionally part of it.
Can I give you one last little thing that we're doing, which I'm really excited about? Well, there's many things I'm excited about. But at the moment, we have 4 interns from Deakin as part of the team here who are coming in and doing radio producing and also marketing and media and comms. So there's something for everybody here. And for some people who's like, I don't want to be on the radio, but I want to be part of it, absolutely come in. Let's have a conversation. Lots of
And
room for volunteers.
You mentioned outside broadcast. They're fun to do. We had one this week at Anglesea, and keep an eye out. Your town will probably be visited because you plan to get out and about at least once a month, maybe twice a month if we can pull it off. So
Yeah.
there's lots of little towns around the precinct we want to come and visit and make ourselves known and give you a chance to get involved in that. So keep an eye out for that. We will be coming to you soon.
That's exactly right.
And for people who know Tom, you don't have to be stunningly good looking like Tom is to get into that radio course.
No.
Rob got in.
It's actually a disadvantage because the fact that he's wasted almost.
He's incredibly handsome, isn't he?
Should be on television.
I don't think I've seen him. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I've made a mistake. That's not a window. It's a mirror. It is always a pleasure to see you, Loretta. Thank you for being part of this circus that we do on a Saturday morning this week. People can hear you at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday morning on Loretta's front page. And thank you for the excellent work you're doing for the station.
Thank you very much. We're going to be talking about the women's pain inquiry the state government have launched next week. So join me from 9.
Excellent.